Law. Last week, as I told you 2 weeks ago, that I would be going down to Norfolk, Virginia, participating in the National Baptist Deacons Convention. And it was a great convention. Can't give you a synopsis at this point, except to say that I noticed evangelism was not on the program this year, and it had been last year, and it was in Cherry Hill last year, and the class, for the workshop, actually went out into Camden as a part of the class and witnessed the people in Camden, and that was good. But I think the workshop leader or something was unable to be there. At any rate, I raised the question: why no evangelism? And I kind of steered many of my comments to the need to evangelize. For example, big concern. Where are the young men? Where are the young men in the black church? Where are they? Well, when that question was asked of me, I said, they're out there. That's where they're at. And we're in here. Okay? Well, that started a whole lot of conversation. If we don't go as we're told, the black church is going to die, because we cannot sustain ourselves if we're not replenished continuously by youth. So we've got to go. We've got to go and bring them in, train them, so that they can continue the work that we started. After the workshops were over, I had a chance meeting to talk with the president of the National Baptist Convention. I was introduced to him by Arnetta Thomas, who had been the president of the Women's Auxiliary. And we talked, and first thing he wanted to know was, after I asked him about evangelism and the evangelism workshop, he wanted to know would I commit myself to being in Cleveland next year. And I said I would. Then he asked me that again. I said, well, you asked me twice, and I'm going to tell you twice. I'll be here. I will be here. And what this means to us as the conversation went is that I may have an opportunity to be a presenter at the National Baptist Convention on evangelism, on street ministry. And guess who's going with me and co-sponsor or co-lead? You brothers. You brothers. See, you don't have to be ordained to attend national, even the pastors' conferences. You don't have to be a pastor or a minister to go. In fact, they invite the laity to go and to participate. So when I got this invitation, almost a challenge, will you be there, because a lot of people say they're going to do things as we talk about and don't do it. But I intend to keep my word. That's my byline, I let my yeas be yea and my nays be nay. Amen. People know me, know that. So I intend to be there, and we're going to work with each one of you to get, it's a 4-day conference in Cleveland. So we got to save our money. And we're going to get a class or a workshop together to cover those 4 days, and hopefully every year thereafter we will be able to reach a number of good men. I readily admit, you know, I was ordained in '87, but it was only in March of this year that I became a part of an evangelistic ministry. And I'm not alone. Why? Because I wasn't taught. I wasn't taught. Our churches are not centered around evangelism. They're centered around church work. You know that. You know that. Harry and I have talked about it, kind of long range. How can we redirect the resources and attention of our churches to evangelism? Because that's what it's supposed to be. Amen. I coined the phrase, I think I was talking to Harry, about the Great Commission is now the Great Omission. It's omitted you know, in daily practice. So this is a step, I think, and feel that this is a step in the right direction. In the right direction. Reaching people who reach other people. You know. And then while I'm talking about that, you guys are putting together an instructional course anyway. I talked to you about seminary without walls and how all of this comes together. We can be a catalyst for teaching other laity, you know, ministry skills. And they're sorely lacking. I've got a heart for small churches. And I'm in contact with pastors of a number of small churches. So we'll see where this thing goes. I'm happy to introduce to you tonight Darryl Moore from Calvary. Amen. Darryl committed himself at our fellowship breakfast, men's fellowship breakfast, and Darryl's had a number of things happening in his life. In fact, the deacons were sitting in here, and I was among them when we were discussing the tragedy at 9th and Carolyn. And you may recall, as I told you on a couple of occasions, that it was because of these tragedies in 9th and Carolyn that, you know, we here in Chester decided that we need to go and take that corner back, snatch it from the devil. Well, Darryl's son was one of the people killed up there. I'm sorry. I want Darryl. Okay, yeah, I'm going to ask him to. And so glad you're here, Darryl.
Okay, he was one shot. He was shot twice in the chest.
Yeah,
we want you to stand up.
Okay.